think that the water on this place in the desert is everything. All the wildlife come and go, you know. I think it's the main attraction.
We have enough water, if you do it right, to get 4 cuttings of hay. Roughly a mile of creek that goes through the place, which gives, you know, ample grazing.
Castle Creek here that runs through the whole property, it attracts a lot of animals too. There's been beaver down there and a lot of deer because it's running all the time. It's moving all the time. It won't freeze up. The ducks and stuff will be down on the creek a lot, I've noticed. The live running water here in the Castle Creek is just an enormous attraction.
Always been water in the creek to at least water the livestock.
We've never had any concerns about watering them through the winter when they're out in the back.
And it's all fenced off, so you can graze the creek without letting the cattle get on the fields. And then the reservoirs, for the most part, all on BLM.
On the reservoirs you get a lot of waterfowl, and you get a lot of deer animals coming down and drinking out of the reservoirs too, and then going back out into the BLM behind it.
Everything's gated pipe. There's no electrical cost. It's all gravity flow with gated pipe, and the gated pipe is included in the property. And it's pretty much, you know, just foolproof. You just let the water in and take the water out. I think it's safe to say that you could probably maintain about 40 head and grow enough feed to get them through the winter on this place. Now, if you took the cows off the place in the summertime, which we occasionally do, then you can grow enough feed to sell and have for your cows.
Yeah, we have our cows here 365 now. We have taken them off and tried to find a place, but we just find it's a lot easier to keep them here. And with the live water all year round, then that's a lot better for us.
Well, I trained horses here for 13, 14 years. That was the way I made a living. And I have a small horse barn with 5 stalls and a tack room, and it worked out well. However, the fencing in the fields is all barbed wire, so you'd have to take that into consideration on the horse end of it.
I think it's a great community. For one thing, you know, I help sometimes in the Oreana Hall over here, so I think it's really community oriented. I really do. I think Oreana is kind of a rare place because we're all really busy doing our thing and working.
You know, everybody pretty much keeps to themselves, and no real problems.
But if somebody needs help, or, you know, if anything happens to a neighbor or anything, you know, you go over, make sure they have all they need and stuff. Everybody does that around here. It's pretty cool, really. It's
really good. And then I have the one neighbor who's just excellent, helps me out all the time, and I help him.
Probably the most beautiful is probably the springtime, I guess, when everything's just kind of coming back alive again. All the trees here are all starting to bud, so you can see them all starting to turn green, and, you know, it's like everything's coming back to life again. So that's really fun to watch.
I like the fall too, because it's hunting season and your work's basically done for the year, and it's a little bit of time to kick back and relax.
I mean, I've always enjoyed winter. I like that you can have fire in your house and come in and get warm. I like to work outside generally in the winter time. So many times I've woke up in the morning, and then when the sun starts to come out, it's made it totally a aqua color of blue. Everything just blue or orange. So many colors. It's just unbelievable, the colors in the morning. Really, really pretty. And watching the swans land on the water, and all the frogs in the springtime, listening to the frogs. And then the sunsets, you know, behind the mountain is just unbelievable. And then when you get a big full moon, especially like the harvest moon, this great big moon just shines all across the reservoir. So pretty, and then it sets over on, you know, on the mountain. It's just this great big ball just setting on the mountain. I love the darkness and that you can see the stars like no other, you know, like no other place I've lived, because it is so dark. I don't know, I just think that this place, not just me even, but I know the people that had it before and the people that had it before that. I mean, they still, when they're in town, they like to come up and just drive up and just look out over the reservoir, because there's something about it. It just doesn't leave you. You can leave it, but it doesn't leave you. I remember walking into the house and up on the hill, and then coming to the kitchen window and looking out at the Owyhees and thinking, oh my gosh, this is, seriously, this is only a place I dream about having, right? So then when we actually did buy the place, I was totally blown away, and just the sight of the valley and the mountains was just breathtaking to me. Just come here and stay overnight and hang out and roast marshmallows and take some walks out here and get away from the city and come out and enjoy it.
I like the views were great.
There's a lot of trees. It almost feels like a forest down there when all the trees get their leaves.
It's just like being out in the wilderness, yet you're only an hour from town.
And it's really nice down there by the creek and then all of the trees, and it's shaded, and it's just really, really nice down there.
Anywhere along the creek is fun. I mean, everything is just fun to watch.
It's just a great place to go take a walk. Even out between the reservoirs out back there, and then come across the street, come over here, and always come down to the creek, because there's always just life down there. Owls nesting, you know. There's coyotes down there, and
you see all kinds of wildlife. There's deer all the time. There's beaver, bald eagles, you know, the waterfowl. The best quail hunting that I've ever had.
And you could just sit out there, and it'll be nice and quiet, and you can just hear hundreds and hundreds of quail. You know, then you'll just see them all darting out in their directions that they're going. If
you like the high desert, if you like wildlife and you like serenity, this is a heck of a place. So I find it really hard to beat.